Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Combat Culture Africa. As you can see, the desk is full and everyone is here. Maya, Chidi, Blessing, what are you guys doing,
They're
man?
chilling, man. They're enjoying. No, let's not
Guys,
hate.
and let's give a birthday shout out to Blessing before we do anything.
Blessing. Today is our manager's birthday.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen Blessing, I'm sure you guys haven't seen her because she's never on the camera, but she's the one that helps put all of this together. She
right.
manages all our busy schedules and makes sure that we're all here every Saturday to record. So,
right.
Blessing, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, we love you. We pray God continues to bless you.
Amen.
We hope you expand. We hope you do great
Not
and
in
marvelous
girth.
things. Man, she is trying to expand in girth, but
In certain places.
Yeah, certain places. Selective expansion.
I like how now we're just talking about Blessing's anatomy.
In between praying for her.
I swear.
All right. So, Blessing, happy birthday.
Yeah, we love you.
Yeah,
Happy birthday.
man, happy birthday. So yeah, we're just gonna do the usual routine introductions. On the mic right now, speaking with you with the silky smooth voice is Oche, young Jollof, the Nigerian nerd, Charles Edache. And right across from me is my brother.
Innocent Skelly Adache. I'm trying to not be so low key with these introductions, but
That was a complaint,
What?
from a past episode.
Are you
Like your
serious?
energy, like I was bringing the energy.
yeah,
and then you were
and
just
then
like,
it's
yeah.
I'm trying, man.
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. Everybody's out of town. Chidi is with his family. Maya traveled out of the country. Blessing is out of the country as well. So two of us will man the fort. So, yeah, we'll have a really good show lined up for you guys.
right.
So right straight to the agenda. We're talking about UFC 247.
That's right.
John Jones versus Dominic Reyes, co-main events. Valentina Shevchenko versus Caitlin Chukagian. So we'll go through everything on the card the way we normally do, starting from the least anticipated fight on the main card to the most anticipated one.
Yeah.
So we have Ilir Latifi versus Derek the Black Beast Lewis.
Yes.
Ilir Latifi is going up to heavyweight for
That's
the
right.
first time. Do you have any thoughts on this bout?
Ilir Latifi has not had a good time of it recently. I can't remember who he fought in his last fight, but I remember seeing him lose. I feel like I should remember who this was, and it wasn't pretty.
It wasn't nice. That was on the Abu Dhabi card.
Oh, was it? Okay, yeah.
Dustin Poirier.
That's
Khabib
right.
card,
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah. So he's not, and he's also not a spring chicken. I can't remember how old he is, but I think he's past 35. And so it kind of makes sense to move up. The heavyweight division is not a particularly crowded one. You can say the same for light heavyweight, but I'm sure for him, you're older now. You don't want to bother with grueling weight cuts and all that.
He used to cut 25 pounds.
25
every
pounds. That's
fight.
massive.
Yeah.
So I think it makes sense for him. The problem is that you're being paired with the Black Beast. I've been very, very dismissive of Derek Lewis in the past. I love him as a personality, but I've been dismissive of him as a fighter because I find him extremely one-dimensional. But one thing I'll give Derek Lewis is that he's been putting in the effort to get better at stuff. His cardio is better. Even his ground game, who his last fight was
Can't remember, but
Yeah.
we were all happy. We're all happy with his performance in that
yes,
fight.
exactly. Damn it, I can't remember now. But he's putting in. He's getting better. I think he's gonna run over Latifi. That's what
Wow.
I think. And the thing is, Latifi, and there's just so many questions. It's a fighter who's been struggling for form, going into a new weight class. And you're going against. I think Derek Lewis is ranked 5 or 6.
And he's currently on the runner up for highest number of knockouts in the heavyweight division in UFC history.
There you go. So I think Derek Lewis is the younger fighter as well.
He's an old dude too, though.
Yeah, he is, but he's younger than
Yeah.
this dude. I think Derek wins.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
my feeling. I think Derek is going to punch him out.
Yeah, his prediction for the fight is the first round knockout. Actually, he's coming to take his head off in the first round.
That's what Derek said?
That's what Derek said.
Oh, man. Derek is trying to end careers
He's
over here,
fighting in Houston, Texas,
Oh
and that's where
my,
he's from.
that's his
yes,
hometown.
yes.
Oh, he's gonna give them a
He
show.
has to.
He has to give him a show.
Yeah,
Oh.
man. I won't lie. This. I just have to admit my bias. I'm not too excited about the heavyweight division division of the UFC.
It's not a great
It's
division.
not, yeah.
It's
So like
not.
to be honest with you, I have nothing against not giving a
Apart
prediction for
from
this.
apart from our
Stipe
guys,
and
well,
Chibuzo.
and then
Yeah.
Emeka.
Becca.
And we're excited. We're both excited for Cyril Gain. I know that.
Yeah.
So he's gonna, but he has a ways to go. I think he's ranked number 15 right now.
Curtis Blades is heavyweight, right?
Curtis Blades is heavyweight.
Yeah.
Francis Ngannou is heavyweight.
There's some.
Junior Dos Santos is heavyweight.
I'm not too crazy about Dos Santos
Dos
anymore.
Santos is anymore. Yes, and a few years ago, or a couple of years ago, maybe. I mean, they're guys that you kind of like, but it's not the most thrilling division.
Yeah.
It's not.
Someone.
I mean, Jorginho Rosenstruck. too.
Oh yes, I love Rosenstrike. Alistair Overeem, I still like to watch him fight. He still
Yeah.
has it.
I mean, they're guys.
There are guys there. It's just that it's mostly people that have gone through the glory days of their careers. So
Exactly.
yeah. All right then, good stuff. So we have next on the card we have, as I recall, Caitlin Chukagian versus Valentina the Bullet Shevchenko. And I spent like the past 3 days watching footage extensively. In fact, prior to my sparring session with Farid on Tuesday, I spent a lot of the tech that I wanted to use to spar with him. I got a lot of it from watching Shevchenko, not even Shevchenko, Chukagian.
Okay.
Chukagian is, and she's the problem with this fight is that she's the style I would compare her most to is the Colby Covington without the wrestling volume,
Yes.
and exceptional head movements. Her
I'm
boxing
with
is
you 100%
oh my
on
days,
that.
man. That babe dances on her feet.
She did
Yes,
blow.
yes. So like after 2 rounds, it's commonplace. You see people's eyes bleeding, nose broken. Nobody's getting knocked out.
Yeah, but she's doing damage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nice variety with her strikes, her kicking, everything is good. The problem now is that she's a counter striker predominantly, and she's fighting Valentina, who is also a counter striker, but can turn it up. Just before coming, I watched Valentina versus Holly Holm, and that fight showed you the variety, the breadth that this babe can offer to a striking matchup, which is what this match is going to be.
It's going to be on the feet.
It's going to be on the feet.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why it's going to be on the feet and it's going to be done predominantly from kicking range. There's not going to be much of pocket fighting. But if it does get into the pocket, Shevchenko decimates her.
I agree.
And if it's from long distance as well, with Shevchenko's excellent Muay Thai background, and this babe and Chukagian has a wide variety of kicks. So she's coming from like heavy, regular, traditional martial arts background, and I don't know, man. For me, I just looked at the entire fight, and this babe is fighting southpaw. Shevchenko is southpaw, so that leg is going to be open for strikes.
Yes.
And I feel if you were to win, the way I would describe this fight, I'll just put it like this: if I was Chukagian and I needed to win, I'm going to depend on movements, a lot of lateral movements. In other words, my back should never be at the fence, so that I'm not taken down, because Shevchenko is way stronger than her, without a doubt.
Yes. If it goes to the ground, Shevchenko will dominate.
No, she'll dominate her. Yeah. So it's going to be if Chukagian must win, she has to be moving. That lateral movement needs to be there. A lot of counter punching and a lot of volume. If Valentina is going to win, Valentina is going to have to chop on those legs so that the movement gets greatly limited, and then you can then begin to piece up your combinations.
And it's something she's done before. So
she did it to Holly Holm.
That's right. Yeah. So she will kick you.
Yeah, she will.
So, I agree with everything you said.
Yeah.
Chukagian, who actually I have never watched a full fight of. I've seen snippets. I've watched people talk about her. I've watched, a lot of the stuff.
Trains
UFC
with
has been
Frankie
putting
Erga,
out.
trains with
That's
Miles
right.
Morales.
She goes to some.
Trains with John Danaher.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I was thinking
brown
about
belts
in New York.
under Henzo Gracie.
Yeah.
So on the ground, she's no. You haven't seen her on the ground before?
I haven't seen her on the ground.
She's deadly.
Oh, really?
Off her back, especially.
I like it.
Yeah.
Because I was watching something yesterday and they were talking about, and they showed, Danaher's gym in New York. And
I want to go there next year, man.
Oh,
that's where I
dude.
want to go for my jiu-jitsu training.
that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing.
Have you heard him speak?
Yes. Yeah. See, martial arts practice. Sorry to digress, but martial arts practice imbues people with a peace. Mayo has it. Andrew has it. Chidi has it. That peace Danaher exudes
Yes,
it.
yes.
He exudes
Yes.
it. There's a calm. It's almost this thing of the knowledge that I know. I almost used the F word. But I know that I can destroy
I will
everyone
pull
around
some
me
people,
right now.
man.
That's
Yeah.
right. So yeah, so that's exciting. And the funny thing is, I had no idea that she was an accomplished jiu-jitsu practitioner until I watched that segment yesterday. And I even from just casually watching clips of hers, you can tell this babe is dynamite with her hands. Like, and the thing is, I kind of like volume punches.
Yeah.
I mean, we all love a good knockout.
Knockout.
But I like somebody that just chops you to pieces. Max Holloway.
Surgeon.
Pop, 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 pop. And she has it. The head move, like you said, the head movement is there. The boxing, the footwork,
Counter strikes as
man,
well.
yes. Like,
I believe
Yeah.
that this is the main event. I believe that it's going to be way more entertaining
I
than
completely agree with you. I was
People will
thinking
be
about that
shocked.
on the way here.
People will be shocked.
This is going to be so much fun.
Exactly.
So much fun.
Yeah.
And it's a title fight, so we get 5 rounds.
yeah.
If it goes the distance,
Yeah.
I think this will be a really good time.
Yeah. So who do you have on that one?
Shevchenko.
Shevchenko,
Yeah,
right? Same
yeah, I
here,
do.
Shevchenko. I think Shevchenko, but it's gonna be tricky if it goes to a decision, bro. It's gonna be really
Yes,
tricky.
that's
It's gonna
true
be
because
really
you
tricky.
know that Chukagian's going to land
Yes,
a lot.
a lot.
A lot.
So if it's not a second or third round knockout, then I think the world might be in for a shock.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. All right then. So we can just transition right up to the main event of the evening.
That's right.
John Bones Jones
My
versus
dude.
Dominic the Devastator Reyes.
Oh man, I'm pumped for this fight, but not because I think there's a possibility. And usually I love underdogs. I usually go into fights rooting for the underdog. I love an underdog story. I really do feel like John Jones is in a really good position to win this fight. There's something about going back and watching a lot of his performances over the last couple of days and just seeing the breadth. People right now don't think of John Jones as that much of a dynamic striker. But man, this guy throws jabs with his elbows. You know, John Jones is playing fifth dimensional chess.
Yes.
And I just feel like I just don't think Dominic Reyes is going to stop him. Reyes has a few things going for him. Good power. He will have watched the Thiago Santos fight. He's going to chop at those legs, which is something that comes naturally to him anyway. There's the unpredictability of him as just an explosive athlete. But I just think with John is such a well-rounded fighter that there was a quote from one of his interviews recently, and this is how he rounded up the interview, and he said, and maybe it gives an insight into how he's going to approach this fight, but John Jones said, for 25 minutes, you're going to be so close, but so far away.
Wow.
Like, he said that. Like, this dude is... And on a personal level, I know we'll have a chance to talk more about just John Jones in general.
Yeah.
But I am so feeling this phase
Yeah.
of John Jones's life.
Yeah.
Like he is in full supervillain mode. He's occupied it. I love when he was asked recently about his troubles and whether he feels like those are far away, and the smile that spread across his face, and I was just happy because he was like, yes, I think those troubles are done.
That was Ariel.
That was with Ariel, and it just made me so happy because this guy, he's still only 32.
Still have maybe 6 more years.
6 more years. Whenever he wants, he can go up to heavyweight and terrify everybody, including my boy Stipe. Love you, Stipe. But yeah, I don't mean to leave the fight and start talking about John Jones and who he is, but I fully of all the fights we've talked about, even the Derek Lewis Latifi, I'm kind of most confident about the outcome of this one. That's how I feel. I think John neutralizes people's strengths very well, and I just fully expect him to win.
Another thing we don't give John enough credit for is his camp. Mike
It's
Winklejohn and
that's right, it's Jackson Wink.
Jackson Wink. They are they are proficient. I watched every single John Jones fight in the build up to this fight, every single one.
Aren't they wildly different?
Yes, every single
That's
one.
the crazy thing.
You watch him in his first fight, Andrew, somebody, that was who he was fighting.
Yeah.
He couldn't even throw a proper jab.
There you go.
Then you see the development of this man.
Yes.
And the fight that I want to use as an example is the fight versus the rematch versus DC. When they asked him, what were your thoughts going into landing that head kick? And he said, we've gone through the training footage and we know that he likes to dip to the left whenever he's pressured on with kicks. So a big part of this training camp was getting accustomed to throwing kicks from my left side so that we could capitalize on his head movement. Tell me which camp apart from freaking Faraz Sahabi.
Okay, and I thought you were even going to say City Kickboxing.
Yes,
as well.
yes. Who else has that level of detail, that level of knowledge, insight into? So that camp is scary. And to Dominic's benefit, he has the benefit of having over 15 or close to from the year 2000 and whatever that John started his career till now. He has so many matches to watch from to digest and understand his opponent. Coming in as the underdog, the pressure is not on you, it's on the champion. So he has some things going to his credit. And I keep saying it, people underestimate that kid's foot movement and his footwork and his head movement. They're very good.
I see.
And the fact that he's a southpaw.
Yes.
John can fight both. He's not ambidextrous, but
he can adjust if he needs to.
He switches to southpaw when he wants to destroy your knees. When he wants to just mess your movement up. But when his natural fighting stance is orthodox. But he knows he has tools that he draws from each stance, which makes him very good. But then somebody who has studied him well enough can, to an extent, know what to expect depending on the switch.
Absolutely.
But what John does, and why nobody has been able to break that, is that he disguises the stance switch so excellently. He's throwing a jab, and as the jab is coming back, the legs are switching. He's doing lateral movement, but then when both legs are leveled, he's done the stance switch already, and you can't see it. And you know that this man has drilled this in the gym. There's nothing random about that. He knows that that this is what comes from each stance. So I'm just going to disguise the stance switch,
just enough
for you to
not see it for the half second
exactly
to
mess you up with it. So it's going to be a good fight. I think the fight is going to, the way I put it on our Instagram is first round determines who's going to win. John's biggest, for all the technical things and the amazing things John can do, the biggest strength John has is his disruption of rhythm. Where John just puts stuff in your face that just makes it hard for you to get the fight started.
And he surprises people.
Just like you'll be walking towards him, kick to the knee, kick to the body. Then he comes over with an elbow over your guard. Then he's in the clinch with you, and you're wondering, but you're the range guy.
And you know the funny thing, people usually do it the other way around. You know, it's they attack the head, then they go to the body.
Exactly.
John will go to your body first, then he'll come over to your head. Then sometimes he'll throw then sometimes he'll throw things just to. He's not throwing it to hurt you. He's throwing it to position you for the real grand finale.
He does that with the double jab. When you're on the fence, double jab. When you're circling that way, he now gives you with the spin kick to the body.
There you go.
He does that. Him and Holloway do that all the time.
So I referenced this earlier. You know, earlier in John's career, it was, oh my God, this guy just comes at you with strikes from every angle and all that. Then it became, oh my God, this guy's ground and pound is insane. And his last couple, Anthony Smith and Thiago Santos, you got the feeling that this is a guy who perhaps knows, and he's only 32. 32 is still very much within a fighter's peak age period. I think everybody is thinking tactically and he's thinking strategically. I genuinely think that when they put together his game plans, he's going in with his legacy and his longevity in mind.
Has nothing to prove anymore.
Nothing to prove. I just need to beat him. That's all.
What's the smallest amount that we can do to give us the most results?
So that my hand gets raised. And you know the funny thing, John is so full of surprises that having said this, I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow he just goes in and just does something extra dynamic that, oh my God, this is John Jones of 6 years ago. So
a big part of it as well is that we know that he doesn't respect Dominic. He doesn't respect
try to
Dominic.
humiliate him.
Yeah, he just might want to break his spirit a
Yeah.
little because all the comments of he's fought people but he hasn't fought an athlete and the new generation he's slowed down.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard,
Yeah.
and this is why I think so. Look at his pedigree. Two of his brothers were NFL superstars, like stars. Like these guys, I think his brother Chandler is still playing in the NFL and still destroying in the NFL. So there's that. This is a guy who himself was an accomplished wrestling career. This is a guy who, the idea that somehow, are we forgetting the things that John Jones has done earlier in his career? The dynamism of his movement and his what are
the
we?
explosiveness,
The explosiveness. What
fighting the two-time Olympian Daniel Cormier.
Yes. Are we downplaying that and saying, "Oh, this guy because he played football in the NFL, and he didn't even make it in the NFL." Sorry.
Yeah.
The idea that he's somehow a superior athlete, I mean, it just does my head in. I don't understand that line of analysis for this fight. So, John is just, and he's wearing turtlenecks now.
Yeah, and I genuinely like the
love
fact
it.
that he doesn't care.
Does not give a damn.
He's coming to the press because he had a media appearance the day before yesterday, and he told the fans, "Oh, who are the John Jones haters?" Some people were like, "Boo, boo, boo." It's like, okay, everybody who's a John Jones hater, stay on the left, and everybody who is a John Jones fan, just move to the right." And he waited for them, like this press conference, he waited for them to move. And he said, "Okay, everybody on the right, I have something for you guys by the end of this interview. All of you there, just stay there.
There.
You can change your minds, but like I'm right."
I love
And I'm
it.
just like, wow,
I love
like
this
a
dude.
villain. Like,
Yes.
and it's now a thing of he hit a lady with a car, he did this, he did that, like stuff. It's like, say it. Daniel Cormier said that 4 years ago.
Yeah,
Everybody,
that's right.
like we're
That's
we're
right.
good.
Yeah, cocaine.
Thank you.
Keep talking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still winning. Like
Yeah.
it's not. You want to be the Dragon Slayer.
Which is one of the crazy things about John Jones's career is he was doing all that stuff and still destroying dudes, like taking souls of the best fighters in this game.
He said the first Alexander Gustafsson fight, he was partying all week, skipping practice,
Yeah.
and that was why it was so hard for him. And look at how
he
the
still
second
won.
one went.
And you know how much, like Alexander, exactly. Look at how the second one went against Alexander freaking Gustafsson.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
come on.
He's the GOAT.
is.
I hope that Dominic can implement the things I think he should implement. That first round, I can't keep saying it enough. Those first 3 minutes are super important.
Yeah.
Don't let that John Jones effect take place. Where the worst fight where you saw that happen was with Anthony Smith. Lionheart saw him, and you could see he was a deer in the headlights. He was
Yeah.
like, so this is what it's like. This
To
is why
fight John
this is why
Jones.
people can't beat this guy.
Yeah.
And I'm powerless.
Yeah.
So I hope everybody falls into that. You can see it. You can earlier on in his career, it took longer for the effect to build up. Big example of that would be the Rashad Evans fight. Rashad came. He tried to resist it.
But he like Rashad, and I'm sometimes I do when I think about that fight, I do feel like maybe if it was a few years earlier when Rashad was
bit more
really
explosive,
tearing it off,
yeah.
tearing it up, perhaps. But once John imposed his will, man, it was just crazy elbow after crazy elbow.
Third round.
Spinning kick after spinning kick.
The elbows were, and those elbows, right? I don't think they hurt as much as an actual punch.
I think they demoralize.
Thank you.
It's
demoralize. You're using your elbows now
Is
from
that
outside.
the kind of reach we're talking about here? That your elbow is reaching my eye.
Yeah, man.
And I didn't see it coming.
But bro, before we go, I mean, I think John, what do you think about the arguments that people make, such as Brendan Schaub, a couple other people have pushed that narrative across that the reason why John is as dominant these days is because the picograms have.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think, there are hilarious. There's one particular very funny story about John dodging a drug test, hiding under the
canvas.
the canvas. So maybe I shouldn't be such a fanboy. I'm sure there's an effect. There's a reason why people do steroids. It enhances you. Performance enhancing drug. But what I've always said, whether it's in the NFL or in fighting, is that I'm not sure steroids don't teach you technique. There was nothing about that elbow jab to Rashad Evans' eye it was just a dude in complete control of his skills.
Yeah.
So yes, of course, the whole stronger, faster thing, harder thing,
And the mental effect as well.
and that's true.
Confidence coming in.
knowing. But at the same time, it's John Jones. I do think that right now you can't get in his head. Like, him and Israel have a nice thing going on, but the mental side of it, I just don't think he's that bothered. And it doesn't. Another thing that I have against that argument is this. Yes, this is post USADA John, but has he lost?
Not yet.
Has he been fighting scrubs?
Nah,
Dudes
at the top of the pile.
Exactly. Dudes are scrambling over themselves to get into his division to try him, and dude is stomping every last one of them.
Very true.
Even the entry into division into the division by guys like Luke Rockhold, Chris Weidman, Jacare, all of them
Are getting stopped by the contenders.
by the regs,
Yes,
the
yes.
dudes that John has stepped on.
Exactly.
So come on,
Yeah.
I don't see it.
I think I agree with you. It's like, steroids. Nobody wants people to take steroids in a
course,
fight,
yeah, I
but
don't.
like you can't argue that this man is a genius.
Yeah,
Like, he's an artist.
he is.
What he does is artistry.
is,
So, all right, man, dude. Before we get, how much more time do we have on this?
We have 3 minutes.
Okay, so let me hop on this. There's one more thing on our list for today, and I'll just go through it really quickly. Last night, the press conference for Israel, last style bender Adesanya versus Yoel, Soldier of God Romero. The first press conference took place last night, and it was beautiful.
Oh, really?
It was
I gotta
beautiful.
watch this.
It was beautiful. One, because Israel exuded the confidence you would expect of
And
the
Yoel cannot speak
champion,
English.
and Yoel could not speak English and educate. At some point in the press conference, Yoel said, I've been doing this since 1800. And then Easy was laughing like, does this guy know what he's saying? Said 18, that he's been doing this since, he already said 1977, he's been doing this since 1897. So like, that guys, you think I retire? You think I retire after this? So I say, he say, this is my last shot. I say, be careful. And he looked like a member of G Unit, right? From like the 2000s.
Like Yoel.
yes, Yoel came in with like,
He's still dressing.
Yeah.
It's his prime. When he was in his early 20s or something.
And then the icing, like, there was a lot of sweet, but there was back and forth. There was trash talk. There was respect. Easy
good.
showed him respect.
Good.
Yoel showed him respect.
Of course.
Yoel even showed gratitude for letting him record.
okay.
I'm sorry, to letting him fight.
fight, yeah.
But then the best thing that happened in that press conference was when they did the face-offs, and then both men. Now Dana separated both men, and they were standing side by side, and then. Yoel is saying stuff in Cuban to him and talking. Then Izzy is looking at him like, what? Then Izzy now starts dancing. Like, he starts doing the salsa. Then what I thought I saw Yoel saying was like, that's not salsa. But then to now show him that it wasn't salsa, he now started crip walking. Yeah, Yoel was crip walking. And then Izzy now started, it started turning into like a dance off. And then Yoel now does a backflip into a split and then starts raising his hands for the crowd.
A 43-year-old
yes.
man. Oh my God.
And at that point it was too late. Izzy had lost the dance off, as the crowd was fully on Yoel's side.
No way.
And like, you could see Dana was nervous. And guess what? When he stood up, Izzy went and shook his hand and hugged him.
Of course.
Yes, it's like at 43.
Yeah, man. Come on.
He says he has 7 fights left on his contract to the UFC and he intends to extend it. Yoel says he's doing it for 10 more years. Yoel, so like that you already know Soldier of God. It's going to be, and that's the same fight Jean Willy is defending her belt for.
Okay.
So
That's good.
it's going to be a beautiful card.
Yeah, man.
All right. So yeah, man, dude.
I have to go watch that.
Please.
In its entirety.
23 minutes long. That's what it is.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, man.
It's amazing. And that's a really good fight to look forward to.
It is.
All right,
Yeah.
we're just about getting to our limit. And yeah, man, dude, see how we held down the fort.
Yeah, 30 minutes.
Dope ass episode. I really enjoyed this.
All right, so your social media plugs.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, man, guys. So as usual, follow us on Twitter, Combat Culture AF. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, it's Combat Culture Africa. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube, it's Combat Culture Africa. And if you tweet at us on using your Twitter handles, any questions or comments, we'll address them in the following episodes.
That's right.
All right, guys, it's been an amazing episode. 3, 2, 1, peace.